All right, so here we are. I'm going to play around with a number of different assets here, CiDy or city, and I'm going to create a city using 3D Forge assets. So create a scene, 3D Forge, not 2D, 3D Forge assets. All right. So let's open that scene up. And the first thing we need to do is add in a terrain. Just going to create a flat terrain for now. We'll worry about doing the shapes and so on later on. But let's make this much bigger. And let's move the camera in. Okay, so let us start out by putting the CiDy city editor. Find or create graph. So that's created all I need inside of this scene, and now I can shift right click. Is that right? Shift left click? No, shift right click was correct. There we go. Shift right click, shift right click, shift right click, shift right click, shift right click. Come on. There we go. All right, so I have made a block, and now I want to create a theme. I have never done this before, so let's see if I can figure it out. Let's get rid of the nodes because I'm not going to be doing those for the time being. So how do I do this? Add a custom district theme, custom district name, 3D Forge starter. Let's see what we get there. Add a theme. You sure you want to create a new theme folder? 3D Forge. No, because I spelt it wrong. Starter. Add a theme. Yes, go on then. Okay. So I now have that there. Where is that? Where is it created? That 3D Forge. Starter, clutter, buildings. Okay, I see what's happening. Oops, wrong folder. If I go there, themes, 3D Forge. Okay, here we go. So we've got buildings. So I need to put some buildings in here. Okay, so let's go and first of all, select this cell and generate it. And yep, I get nothing. That's expected because I have no buildings in here at all at the minute. Now, this is going to be a medieval town. Let's go in and find medieval village. Okay, let's start with that one. And we're going to drag that into our folder inside of CiDy assets, resources here, buildings. There we go. So let's just drop that in. Wait, oops, I dropped it in the wrong place. Okay. So now if I generate that cell, yay! I'm getting some 3D Forge assets. Okay, so that looks way too structured. Let's not huddle the buildings. What difference does that make? Okay, good. Now we're spreading out nicely. You can imagine some grass areas and so on, but we need a whole bunch of other buildings. So I'm going to add another project tab in here so that I can lock that one, go into the buildings folder, and then on this side I'm going to go into my 3D Forge folder, find the buildings, and go into the medieval village again. Let's expand this out a bit. A bit dark in there. Let's just drag them all in. Why not? Let's just be kind of brave about it. And click generate cell. That definitely changed, didn't it? Yep, it did. So we have a whole load of buildings in there now. Excellent. I'm just going to turn off that show cells there because it's a bit distracting. Okay, great. So we've got a whole load of different buildings going in. Now this pavement is bothering me for two reasons. One, it has lampshades, street lamps. And one is the texture on the pavement is not good. So I think that is done on the road here. I'm not going to want 2 lane. I'm going to want 1 lane because they're going to be small. Yep, there we go. And is that 1 lane? Looks like 2 lane to me. Oh, right, it's 1 lane and then some side pieces. We're going to change that texture as well if I can figure out how, so I'm not going to worry about that for now. And is the sidewalk part of this or the cell? Looks like it's part of the cell. Do I have to have the cell enabled to select it? Yes, I do. Okay. What am I doing? Sidewalk. Sidewalk. Light spacing, street light, contour, sidewalk. Randomize clutter. We're going to do clutter in a minute. There's the clutter objects. There's the prefab buildings. So I can drop them in individually there as well. Thought I could change the size. That sidewalk clutter. Oh, here, sidewalk parameters. Create sidewalks. Don't want any sidewalks. Generate that. Excellent. So the sidewalks are now going up there. So let's now figure out how do I change the road. I just realized I copied all of the models into the folder. I didn't want to do that because now they're all in the wrong place. I'll just leave it as is. I'm just experimenting for the moment. Okay. So what was I going to do? Change the texture of the road. Here is the road material. Now, do I have anything in here with a dirt texture? Yes, maybe. Let's have a look at what that is. Not really. No. What's this coming in? What do I got? This is park. Well, the park might well have something in it. Let's have a look. Just soil or something like that. Materials. Don't see anything that looks like a ground. So let's just drop a grey background in there for now. I just want to see if it works because I've never actually done this. So I just want to see, you know, is this going to change how the road looks? It certainly does. And so it looks like we can change the side pieces as well. What happens if I remove the divider line and the shoulder material completely? Okay. Right, so I can have no lights. Lane width 4 sounds alright. I don't want any shoulder width. Don't want any crosswalks because these are dirt roads in a medieval village. Okay, generate that. Okay, that's looking better. Why have we got these lines here though? What are they? Markings. Create road markings. No, thank you. All right, now I need a dirt texture. And these are all for, as I don't think I've imported anything. Let's just find some textures. I don't want to spend an age importing things. So let's just find something. What have I got? 6 free textures. None of them are any good for this. Brick, fabric, floor, probably not. No. Ground. 40 PBR2, it's 30 dirt, so let's download that. I recently installed a new hard drive, and consequently I haven't got everything downloaded, and it looks like this is going to be a fairly big download, so I will just move that off the screen and we'll see if we can figure out that street lamps thing, because we still have the street lamps. Oh, and that's only changed that one road. Do I need to change this inside of the... No, it doesn't look like I can change it there. So maybe I just need to copy that and then paste the values on over here. And generate. So what did I just do? I broke it. I have broken it as well. What's happened there? Ooh, not looking good. Let's put that back to how it was. Maybe I just need to regenerate the cell. Oh dear. No. I has brocked it. Okay. So, I do like CiDy, but if you're trying to do things that are not exactly the way it was designed to do, I do find a lot of these errors, and it does worry me a fair bit. The publisher is working on it a lot. He's doing a lot of updates, and he's certainly changing a lot of the fundamentals about how it works, about how the roads are laid out, and he's talking about using scriptable objects to define the ways that the roads work, etc. So that makes me a little more comfortable, but it's going to take time. That said, this is still the only city asset that can do terrains that are not flat, and you know, that's just critical as far as I'm concerned. They just look dull and boring when they're flat. So I'm just creating a new one rather than trying to figure out what went wrong there. Oh, where's my roads? Missing reference exception. CiDy road has been destroyed. Oh, maybe I just didn't delete everything I needed to delete. It actually stores everything in the scene itself, which is also kind of problematic. Something here is changing, I believe. Okay, let's clear the error. No. So this is I don't know how to start a new scene is my problem here. Can I just discard the changes and start again? I didn't save anything, did I? Blast. All right, no big deal. I am experimenting, and I may well have... Well, I did do something I wasn't supposed to do because I broke it. I'm not sure that it should break because I did something I wasn't supposed to do. It should probably stop me, but, you know, I write code. I know it isn't that easy. Let's just see if I can... There we go. That looks right now. Okay, and this time I'm going to get a little bit more adventurous with how the roads look to really test it. Oops, I forgot to regenerate. Okay, and this is using the... Oh, this has picked up my 3D Forge one. Okay, good. But interestingly, it's done that clutter thing again. It's brought them close together again. And I've still got my sidewalk. So let's get rid of all that. Okay, autofill buildings. Can't quite read what that says from the theme folder. Yes, please. Building spawn logic, huddle the buildings, no. Maximize lock space, no. Don't know what that means. Don't want to create sidewalks. We do want lights, but I couldn't get the lights to stick a minute ago, so we'll come back to that in a minute. Contour sidewalks, well, we're on flat anyway. So let's generate that cell. Okay, that's looking, it's a bit too regular for my liking. What happens if I do maximize plot space? Yep. Okay. Okay, so there's not a lot of configuration that I can do here. I've got exceptions again. Hey. So let's go back. Let's this time do it to all the roads at once. Oh, I can only select one road at a time. Where is this road being specified? I'm not sure. My textures have nearly downloaded. Okay, so I want it to be one lane. I don't want any lights. Don't want crosswalks. I don't want any shoulders. And I don't want road markings. And if I zoom in, okay, can't see the road there. Okay, my download is finished, so it's got to wait for that for a moment. And then we should have some textures that we can put in on this road and turn it into a more medieval style road. All right, so we've imported those assets. So I am now hoping we can change the texture on this road, which currently doesn't have a texture. All right, so let's see, what did we just get? This is a texture pack I have not previously imported. It's a freebie, if I recall correctly. So what we got, oh, it's got documentation. Hello, thank you, and mail me. All right, fine. Ooh, lots of dirt. This could be good. All right, well, let's just go with dirt 01 to start with and see how we do. Let's go back to my road and drop dirt 01 into the road material. I'm not doing divider lines or shoulder materials. So let's click generate and see what happens. Okay, it is there. Now that Z fighting, I wouldn't worry about that. In fact, I can probably fix that straight away. So CiDy does, or CiDy, or however it's pronounced, does work well with other with terrains. And so what I can do here is I can say blend the city to the terrain, and it'll adjust the height of all of the textures and so on, which in this terrain doesn't make a big difference because it's entirely flat, although we're still struggling and it looks very stretched. So that doesn't look great, does it? It is still struggling for some reason in this instance. I'm not quite sure why that is. I haven't seen that before. I think that's just something about this particular generation. I don't like the way it's really stretched it. So it's not as simple as just dropping any terrain in. I think it needs a particularly scaled particularly scaled material. And the other thing is that it's actually, this house here is sitting on the road itself, which is not great. There's another one as well. Is that the same kind of house? Base 01 slant roof B. Yeah, so I'm not going to look at why that is. I'm simply going to take it out of the theme, and I'll worry about why it's doing it later. I have forgotten where the theme is. That's right, it hides it in the CiDy folder. Here it is. Buildings, and it is basic 01. Oh, wooden roof is different. That one was a slate roof, wasn't it? Yeah, so it's probably all of these basic 01s then. Let's just rip them all out. Actually, no, let's just rip out the two. It's that one. And that one. Alright, so I need to get rid of these buildings. Now, I've got this problem of course, Unity doesn't have sortable arrays. So how do I get rid of the one that is the very first one in the list? It's a nightmare. It is coming in 2020. I saw that on the release notes. I'm on 2019 still here, but oh boy, I can't wait for it. I do often use Odin Inspector to do that kind of thing. Now this is going to be interesting. Here I'm predicting that we will get a null reference exception here. Let's see. I didn't clear, but we had 4 before I clicked. Oh, we haven't. Okay. Do I get spaces? That looks like it might be a space, but it might just be that it's close there. Oh, look, it's removed the empty one for me. Oh, well, kudos to the developer there. Not the most obvious way of doing it, but that works. Let's see if it's done it again and removed the other element. Yeah, it did, look. Oh, it says 25 still. Oh, I don't know how that happened. But I still have them spawning on my road here. Yeah. Let's try some other textures on this road. I'm giving up on that building for now. As you may have gathered if you've been watching for more than 2 minutes, I am just playing here. I have absolutely no goal in mind other than to learn. Let me take that lock off and then I can go to here. Let's try Dirt 02. That changed as soon as I dropped it in. That's nice. Yeah, it's really stretching it, isn't it? Oh, it's got a size. I didn't see the size. Okay, idiocy. I'm British. I can be self-detrimental and go and feel okay about it. Oh, the size isn't for the material. It's for the number of materials. Well, what does it do if I add some more in? Picks from at random from them by the looks of it. Alright. Okay, well, I don't want to do that. Okay, so that I can change the material, but this material doesn't work well, and I've got this Z fighting. Why have I got that? I can fix it by doing this, but I'm sure I'm not supposed to do that. Alright, so the other thing I want to try and do is do some road clutter or street clutter. So I'm going to need to make some space between the buildings and the house. So let's put a sidewalk width of 2. Maybe that's why we have the sidewalks, to stop the building from getting onto the road itself. Yeah, now this building is on the sidewalk, so it's still not great. Is there a way to raise the height of the road a tiny bit? Well, I've not seen that Z fighting, so that's what I just did. I increased to 0.1. We might be just getting the lag here, and that has fixed it. I thought when I clicked on the blend city to terrain that would fix it. It always has done for me in the past when the terrain is not entirely flat. So I think it might just be that I'm using an entirely flat terrain. And it's getting confused. And if I had an actual terrain with some variation in it, I think it would just fix itself. Like I say, I haven't seen that problem before, so I'm guessing it would. All right, so street clutter. Where do we do street clutter? I think it's in the folder. Yeah, here, clutter. So what are we going to put in as clutter? Let's see. Their houses still, fences, props. What we got in props? Let's put, oh, we got loads of lovely stuff. I don't know if you're familiar with 3D Forge stuff. It's brilliant. There is so much of it. The only problem with it is it's, if I take a close look at the textures, you can see that there's not really a lot of depth in the textures. Right, these bricks really show it off. They're not PBR textures. And it's a bit flat and boring as a result, but there is so much variety in his kits. Really good value, and for mocking stuff together and playing around, I love them. I recently saw some stuff on his Discord where people had been retexturing it, and some of that looks great as well, but unfortunately I don't have the artistic talent to do that. So I'm just using it as is for now. All right, clutter. I want to just grab that and drag it into here. All right, and then I want to, what do I want to do? I want to click on the cell. I think it's the cell that has the clutter. Sidewalk clutter parameters, yeah, it looks that way. So generate the cell, and we should get some of those wooden crates dotted around. Where is my clutter? I don't see any. All right, why am I not seeing any? Randomized clutter, maybe that was the piece. Have I got the clutter object here? It is appearing, so maybe I just didn't have it placing. Generate cell again. I'm seeing my clutter here, but I'm not seeing it appear here. Let me go over to one of the other roads. Yeah. Let me go back to using the default cell here. Okay. I'm not seeing any clutter. Ah, I bet it's because I'm not generating sidewalks. And so it has nowhere to put the clutter. Yep, there we go. We've got clutter now. All right, so let's switch back to 3D Forge. That's interesting. It's kept that stuff down there. But if I now generate, there we go. We have some clutter now. Okay, good. See if I can get rid of these street lamps, because I've figured out how to put clutter in. Can I get the street lamps to change? Street lamps. Let's just pick that one. Drop it in. Click generate. Now last time I did this, it just went back to the other street lamp. Yeah, it's done the same street lamp again. Oh, I think I remember seeing on a video, it has to be named street light. All right, let's try this street light thing again. Let's just duplicate that. I keep copying them into my project folder and I don't like that. So duplicate it into street light. There we go. Put that in there and go in here and then rename it to street light. Let's just make sure I capitalize it correctly. Oops. Street light in camel case. So this, if this is right, this is just a really good example of how you shouldn't have built this. Having a field there and then having to have it named correctly, it just seems wrong to me. Let's see if it works that way though. It does. All right. That's a really good example of why this needs some work. That is so unintuitive. And I only know that because I watched one of his videos and I remembered it. And it looks like I have no way of rotating it here, which means I have to do it in my prefab, which again, I don't really like. So that would be -90, I believe. Oh, not the building though. The street light. think that is right. Just go regenerate. Come on. Oh. That is not changing it. Okay, why is that not rotating? All right. I cannot see anything that is controlling that. Contour to the sidewalk. That's the clutter there, though, isn't it? Did I not set it right here? No, it definitely says -90. I'm still struggling with this light, so I'm just going to remove it. I will have a chat on the Discord as to how do I rotate it correctly. Look at this. I took out my street light and it's insisted on putting the electric one back in. That's not good, is it? And I don't see any way of turning off the street light. And I'm pretty certain if I do that and then click that, it's going to put one back again. Yep. Okay. So you can't have a city without streetlights. That kind of kills my medieval city, doesn't it? I'll have to find a vertical street lamp. Maybe I can just edit one of these out. Let's just see what we can do. Let's go in here. Let's grab that. This is one piece. That's not like the blacksmith. What's going on? All his streetlights are one piece. I have never seen that in his stuff before. Wow. Oh, that's a good idea. Just create an empty street light. I think I will almost certainly do that. Not a folder. What am I doing? I need to create an empty prefab. And I can't call it no street light, which is what I would be tempted to call it. So let's try that now. This is a genius idea. I'm going to drop that in there. I don't think I need to. I think it's going to automatically replace it, but let's see. Yes, you're a genius, Joe. Thank you. I can now have city without street lights. Okay, what was I going to do next? I was going to look at more of this clutter. So how can I change the positioning of the clutter? Let's find something nice and big that I'm going to see. Like a wagon. Yeah, a wagon. Clutter. That should go in the clutter folder. Right. So if I generate that. I'm going to get a load of carts. Okay, now I'm getting carts every 30 feet. I'm randomizing, so I should get... Okay, so sometimes I get a cart. So I get one every time? I can't randomize the distance? That's pretty poor. Well, what I was trying to do is to see if I can then offset that. Or is it going to overwrite the distance as well as the rotation? And what angle would I offset it? Because I don't know. Let's just try doing -20. I'm trying to see if I can make it appear not on the sidewalk. Nope. It has zeroed it on the sidewalk, just like it wouldn't allow me to change the rotation. Okay, I know there is a way of doing this. I've seen people doing it on the Discord, so I need to dig into that a bit more. Maybe it's in the roads. There is definitely a way of generating stuff along the roads. I think this might be time to get the manual out. Who'd have thought that, eh?